Hi, my name is Jamal Michael, and the topic of my video presentation is on dissection of a hibiscus flower. I will be discussing the location, structure, and function for each part of the flower, as discussed in the lecture chapter 22. Chapter 22.2, the book, it's on page 668, and this is where a lot of my information will be based upon, so you can always check that out anytime that you find it necessary. And let's begin. So, what I know as of now about this section is, well, I'll just go back into the past on how when I was a little kid and that we used to have a garden in our backyard. And our garden was filled with flowers, and there was one particular flower where it was always covered in bees, and bees would always tend to come and go, and I always wondered, where are they going, and how do those flowers tend to like reproduce, and like where do they go after they die? So I guess here I find out my answer. Okay, sepals. Sepals are modified leaves that protect the developing flower. They're often green, but they can be brightly colored. The layers just inside the sepals are made of petals. But lilies, here. This lily has both male and female structures. In lilies and other monocots, sepals and petals look similar and often called tepals. Since they both have the green color, the green texture onto it, it's very hard to know the difference between the two. You might think of it as just one leaf. So yeah, since they're both the same color, it's hard to know the difference between the two. So now it's called a tepal instead. Right there, tepal. The stamen. The stamen is the male structure of the flower, which consists of the filament and the anther. Alright, the anther produces pollen grains, which is the male gametophytes. Please excuse me if I pronounce any of these incorrect. Just bear with me. Okay. The carpel, that's what the stamen rests on. It's the innermost layer of a flower and is made of the female structure. The female structure, the carpel, has the stigma, the style, and the ovary. Ovary, as we were talking about before, the ovary is basically what produces the female gametophytes, and it's found at the base of the flower. Pollination. Alright, so flowering plants can be pollinated by winds or animals. When a pollen grain reaches the stigma of the same plant species, the flower can be pollinated. Pollination is a necessary step for sexual reproduction in flowering plants. You can often tell how a flowering plant is pollinated by looking at its flowers. And there, wind. Pollination can be it can be distributed by either animals or, at this case, wind. So wind, it can take away pollen from one destination to another, and usually it's done along light pollen. There can be, yeah, just light pollen. Fertilization. The production of male gametophytes. Pollen grains are produced by anthers, the male gametophytes of seed plants. Cells use meiosis to divide into 4 male spores, then use mitosis. Know the difference. The first one is meiosis, then is mitosis. We use mitosis to produce 2 haploid cells, which are the male gametophytes. The 2 haploid cells together, they make a sturdy wall of protection and forms the pollen grain. The female gametophyte. One female gametophyte can form into the oval of the flower ovary, just like the male gametophyte. A total of 4 spores, being a female at the case, are produced through meiosis. However, a lot of flowers tend to lose 3 spores, leaving 1 spore that encounters mitosis 3 times, making a total of 8 nuclei along with the female spore. So let's backtrack a little bit. We have 7 cells, which equals 1 female gametophyte. That 1 female gametophyte divides by meiosis to make 4 spores. Out of the 4 spores, 3 of them die usually, out of most flowers, having 1 spore left that uses mitosis 3 times to make 8 nuclei. That's amazing, isn't it? Wow. Alright, the double fertilization. So basically for the double fertilization, 1 sperm fertilizes the egg, which develops into an embryo. The other sperm unites with the polar nuclei to form the endosperm. The outer layer of the ovule becomes a protective seed coat. From what I know, the endosperm, it nourishes the developing plant, that its embryo inside of the seed coat. That's what it does. All right, seeds and fruit. So the ovule becomes a seed, which contains an embryo and nutritious endosperm enclosed by the protective seed coat. Using the nutrients provided by the endosperm, the embryo develops 1 or 2 cotyledons. Well, it depends on whether you have a monocot, which is 1 cotyledon, or a dicot, which is 2. While the seed develops, the surrounding ovary grows into a fruit. Many animals tend to eat the fruit and scatter the seeds while encouraging the seeds to sprout and make plenty more of its kind. Just like how we eat watermelon or like maybe apples, and sometimes how you spit the seed out in the ground. Sometimes those seeds can actually grow and make. Sometimes, usually depending on the climate, it will depend on whether it grows or not. But then I don't know. Who knows? Maybe you'll have a watermelon. That's why I don't. That's why I don't put seeds in my stomach. I don't know. I shouldn't have said that. So this is just a summary over the flowering plant cycle from the male and female gametophytes all the way through the seeds and fruits. This is found on page 671 of the biology book. You can always check back and you can always see this. So thank you for your time, and I hope you have a great day. See you guys later.